Hi, my name is Akibulu Jorolua and I just clocked 18 today. Yay! So I was thinking what should be my first YouTube video and then it clicked. The 18 things I learned at 18. So I want to share with you the 18 life lessons I learned at 18. The first is discipline over motivation. This changed me because once I understood that it's not about how I feel, but about what needs to get done. The reason most of us have not achieved our goals, or most of us have not been consistent with the things we ought to be, is because we often do them when we feel like it. So you often pray when you feel like it, you often read books when you feel like it, you often work out when you feel like it. But once you understand that it's not about what I feel, it's about what needs to get done, you would do things regardless of how you feel. And that's exactly what discipline is. Doing things not because of I feel like it, but doing things because they need to be done and they'll make me better as a person. The second is plan your days and weeks. Have a to-do list, have a weekly schedule. It just takes about 1 to 2 hours to sit down and plan the things you need to do. And this would change how productive you are, because once you have a to-do list, once you have something you have planned, and it's not just about writing what you need, what you have planned, but putting specific time blocks. So you wake up 6 a.m., have my bath 6 a.m. to 6:30. I don't know why you're bathing for that long, but okay. Pray from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Just have specific time blocks for the things you want to do, and it will make you a lot more productive. The third is value time spent with friends and family. A lot of people are chasing the bag, a lot of people are chasing cars, money, girls, and those things are good, right? But what matters when you're on your deathbed is not those money. You won't think of your degree. What would matter is the person or the people that are around you, the people that are holding your hand when you take your last breath. So don't put so much emphasis, or don't let your things, material things, have more priority than the people in your life. So spend time with your friends, hang out with them, hang out with your mom, hang out with that annoying sibling. I know it's hard, but try to do it. The fourth is live every day like it's your last. This mindset completely changed how productive I was, because once I understood that today might be my last day, today might be the last time I live on earth, it made me more productive. I was more urgent, I was more intentional, I was more determined to do the things I needed to do, because it was always ringing in my head, if today was my last day, how would I live it? And you notice, once people realize that they have limited time to live, that is exactly when they're like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. But once you live with that mindset every single day, I know it's kind of extreme, but once you live with that mindset every single day, you'll be more productive than you think, because you don't want to have regrets when you die. The fifth is eliminate all distractions. You're not lazy, you're just wasting your time on things that don't matter. A lot of us spend time binge watching Netflix, scrolling mindlessly on TikTok or Instagram, neglecting these things we want to do. The reason you don't get the job done is not because you're lazy or because you don't have the ability to, it's because you're spending time on distractions, you're giving yourself to distractions. So eliminate them, and not just eliminate them, replace them with something productive. So instead of mindlessly scrolling on YouTube, watch a TED talk. Instead of binge watching Netflix, read a book. Replace these habits with new habits that will make you better as a person. The sixth is, when you fail, stand up and rise again. And this is something that I struggled with during my 17th year, because I set a lot of goals for myself. I wanted to do this, that, and almost every time I would fail, and then I'll feel worthless and depressed. Oh, I didn't achieve my goals. But realistically, realistically, there is no successful person that has never failed before. Just ponder on that. Every single person that was successful failed in one aspect of their life or the other. So failure is actually success. The fact that you fail doesn't mean you're a failure. Your outcome doesn't determine your identity. The seventh is build systems, not goals, not just goals. I know you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to achieve this, you want to achieve that, and that's all good, but don't just state your goals. Build systems around them, because it's systems that will help you achieve what you want to. So instead of saying, I want to work out more, have a fixed routine. I will go to the gym Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays. I will do push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. Have a defined plan, right? Don't just focus on what you want to do. Focus on exactly how you want to achieve those things you want to do. The 8th is read a lot of books. Now, I go to Bowen University, and as Bowenites, I'm very sure they understand that Chaplain hammers on one particular thing: read books. And this was something I neglected. I was like, read books, yeah, because most of the successful people I saw, they read a lot of books. So I was like, yeah, I will read books, but not exactly like 4 books a month, because I'll be seeing people reading 6. I'm like, why are you reading 6 books? But once I've read my first book, which was Purpose Driven Life, oh my god, I was like, so this is what I've been missing. And then after that, I was reading a lot of other books: Atomic Habits, Psychology of Money, Case for Christ, things like that. And I was like, oh my god, this is why people are actually successful, because you have the experience of one person for 20 years, 15, 50 years condensed into the pages of a book. So it's only wise that you read books. Not just read books that are tied to your purpose and calling. And that leads me to the 9th one, which is do things that are in line with your purpose, or know your purpose and then live it out. Don't just live your life the way you want to. Live your life according to what God has planned for you. This bottle water, if it was alive, it can't give. It's like it doesn't determine what it's supposed to be used for. Why? Because it's not the one that created itself. So if you want to know your purpose, ask the person who created you. Just talk to God about it. And then I think service will also help for you to understand, okay, what God would have you do. Now, once you know your purpose, it allows you to focus, and then now you start living. Because like Miles Monroe said, once a purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So once you understand what you want to do and what God would have you do, then it will allow you to focus on those things. So you know, okay, these are things to work on, these are things to work on. So you won't be going up and down doing millions of things. The 10th one is consistency over intensity. And this is exactly what separates the 1% that achieve their goals or go through with their goals throughout the year than some people that I'm looking at now that set goals at January and then left them at February. The goal or the idea is just simple. Don't overburden yourself. You've never read a book in your life. Let me even wear my glasses. You've never read a book in your life, and you want to finish 5 books in 1 month. How about? You've never worked out before. You want to go to the gym 5 times a week. Bro, you're going to crash out. It's not easy, right? So what you do is that you start so small that it's impossible for you not to do it. Read 1 page per day. Read 1 Bible chapter per day. Pray 10 minutes per day. Work out. Do 5 push-ups. Because it's not about how much. It's about how often. Because if you do 1 habit every day for 365 days, you get 1% better each time you do it. Because habits don't add up, they compound. The 11th lesson is applied knowledge is power. A lot of people say knowledge is power, but knowledge not used is not exactly useful, because it's more like it's useless, right? So knowledge alone is not power, but applied knowledge is power. So you would have read a lot of books, listened to a lot of TED Talks, watch a lot of YouTube videos, but then you're not executing. Why? Just execute. Start implementing the things you learned. Because you're just consuming without producing. So consume and produce. The 13th or the 12th is have an accountability partner. Oh my God, this is so important. This would make you, or this would better increase your chances of achieving your goals. Once you have an accountability partner, it allows you to be more determined to get your goals, because there is a way people behave when people are looking at them. As guys, there is this particular way we behave when we see our crush. Those times when we're still little, your crush pass by, you're like, yeah, what's up? Like you literally change your aura. Why? Because someone is focusing on you. There's a particular way you will talk when your mom is by your side, right? So it's the same thing. Once you know that someone is checking up on you, once you know that there's someone you're accountable to, you would want to do better. And you can even go as far as posting on your status, okay, these are the goals I have for this month. And then the failure or the shame of not achieving those goals will be on you, and the responsibility will be on you because you've told almost every single person. The 13th is God should be your highest priority. This is important. Degree is important, money is important, having a wife, having a family is important, but what's more important is God. Why? Because once you get to heaven, those things are not going to matter. These things are going to fade away, but what's going to matter is God and eternity. So prioritize God. Give more time to Him. Fellowship with Him daily. School is important, finance is important, all those things are important. They are not as important when weighed on the scale. They are not as important as God. So give God your highest delight and your topmost priority in your life. Right. The 14th is don't compare yourself with anybody. Are you hearing me? Don't compare yourself with anybody. Why? Because it's just like a footballer comparing himself with a sprinter, saying the sprinter is faster than. Bro, it doesn't make any sense. Why? Because the goal of a footballer is to score goals. The goal of a sprinter is to finish, is to run fast. They both have different lanes. So it doesn't make sense that a footballer is comparing himself with a sprinter. I said that to say that if you compare yourself with people, then you would be doing a very terrible thing to yourself, because you guys are built different. You guys are made different. He was called for a particular thing. She was called for a particular thing. You are not like them. You are unique. You are not anybody. You are you. And I think another mistake people make is that they compare themselves with finished products. Like imagine raw rice comparing himself with finished rice. It doesn't make any sense. So you are looking at someone who has spent 10 years of his life doing what he has been doing, and you're like, oh my God, the man prays 6 hours every day. Me, I'm still praying 30 minutes. The guy works out 3 hours every day. I'm still working out 30 minutes. It doesn't make sense. Just start small, and then one day you will get to that point, and then you yourself will look at people behind you and be like, oh my God, I remember when I was like that. So focus on your strength. It will be very, very, for lack of a better word, it will be very, very folly of a cheater to be envious of the strength of a lion, because he has its own strength, which is his speed, because it's fastest mammal on earth. The 15th is always add value everywhere you are. I've heard this from a couple of people, but one of the people I heard it from is the book I read, was it last 2 months, which is the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, and it was by John Maxwell. It was the law of contribution, and this changed me. The idea is just add value everywhere you are. You are not doing all the things you are doing, accumulating knowledge, being a personal guru or productivity expert for yourself. You're doing it for the people that are around you. Because people would not remember you for what you did. They will remember you, or what you made for yourself. They will remember you for what you made them to be. So add value wherever you are, whether it's knowledge, money, any way you can. Because people would remember the people that made them who they were today. The 16th is God. Trust God and the process. See, I understand that you don't look like it. You don't look like what you're supposed to. But trust God. Because God is not a man that he should lie. So if he has said something about you, if he has placed a calling over your life, he has told you that this is exactly what I'm going to do, then trust him for that word. The 17th is be God conscious. And this literally changed my consecration. Why? Because Once I understood that God is around me and God is inside of me and God is watching me every single time, then when I would want to sin, I would remember, oh my God, God is here, I cannot do it. And that's the exact knowledge Joseph had when when Potiphar's wife seduced him. He understood something, that God is here, so I cannot do this thing and sin against God. So be God conscious. Once you understand, once you have it at the back of your mind that God is here and I'm the temple of the Holy Ghost, then you would not live your life the way you are, you won't speak the way you want, and you will carry yourself in a particular way. And the last one is document your journey. This is important because once a lot of people, we think, oh, I've not grown, I've been stagnant for the past year, I've not seen any progress in my life. That's not true. Because the reason is you don't document, you don't have a journal, you don't take videos of your life periodically. Once you do that, you understand that you've grown so much, but it's so little that you can't see it. When I was 17, I started journaling, I started making videos regularly, making voice notes, and it made me understand that, wow. And when I was reflecting a couple of days ago, I was like, oh wow, I've actually grown. I speak better now, I think better now, I plan better now, I'm more intentional about my growth and things like that. So documenting your journey will help you understand and help you see how far you've gone and how far you've come. And I said 18 lessons, right? But I just want to give one more, which is, it's not a goal journey, it's a growth journey. I understand that you've not achieved your goals, but it's not actually about the goals, it's about the person you're becoming. It's not about hitting a milestone, it's about being a person of substance. So those are the 18 things I learned at 18, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.